Um, Depression, and anxiety, and also just feeling like I'm not good enough, feeling like people aren't going to accept me for what I am.
Sadness, stress, depression, anger.
Being anxious, anxiety, fear, anger, and frustration.
It's just like emptiness, like a gap, like kind of just like is gone away from my body or so.
Anxiety disorder is a mental health condition marked by persistent feelings of worry, anxiety, or fear that interfere with daily activities. Anxiety disorders impact around 18% of adults and 31% of teenagers in the United States. Even if the sickness is very treatable, only about 40% of those who are affected receive treatment. There are two main reasons why people do not seek treatment, according to my research. People have become accustomed to anxiety and believe it is a typical occurrence, or their parents' guardians have influenced them to ignore it or learn to deal with it on their own. I came up with a statement that will lead to my solution once I found a reason why. People 15 plus need a way to understand the seriousness of anxiety disorders because I found that people don't take it seriously, leading them to not seek treatment. There are numerous websites and videos available to the public, however, they do not appear to be effective. What would I make to pique the interest of a young audience? I needed something digital and free so that more people could get access, as well as something that would attract people's attention quickly. After some thought, I came up with a desktop video game that follows the life of someone with anxiety problems and the challenges they face. Following the creation of the product's design and layout, I met with community partners to discuss product enhancements. We can come up with a mobile version so that more people can play it, as well as a version that children under the age of 9 can play and understand. I was able to make the game mobile friendly, but if I were to expand this solution further, I would create versions for children. A choose-your-own-adventure game is the type of game I want to make. This is a game that allows users to choose between multiple paths, each of which can lead to a different outcome. At first, I drew a rough outline of how many options I wanted users to have. Before I started working on the final product, I wanted to make a prototype that showed what the final product would look like. My prototype is a simple physical model that depicts the user's entire experience. They are able to access my game, play it, and then express their feelings afterward. I was able to produce a totally functioning and visually appealing end product after receiving input from my focus group and community partners about the poor appearance. I began the game with a simple choice of how to begin it, but I was able to connect it to a real-life symptom of anxiety disorder. Not starting might represent a lack of motivation and desire to achieve anything. As the user progresses, each choice provides a realistic sensation of someone suffering from anxiety. I'm looking for a more fear-based approach to help users comprehend anxiety. Many of the skills I received through my STEM experience were put to use throughout my Capstone process. Soft and hard skills are used to categorize them. Soft skills, such as leadership and problem solving, are more general, whereas hard skills, such as electronics repair, are more specific. Problem solving was one of the soft skills I had to use, which was covered in my STEM schooling, but was heavily utilized by our engineering pathway coach, Coach Griffith. Along with critical thinking and empathy, which are mostly facilitated by our math coaches, particularly Coach Graber. He instilled critical thinking in us by having us solve mathematical problems, and he instilled empathy in us by having us listen to other people's struggles. These skills assisted me in the brainstorming phase because I wanted to understand my target audience and how to approach the problem. Listening and communication were two more soft skills. I wanted to gather feedback from others and provide comments on their solutions so that we could create the best products for our solutions. Coding was the only hard skill I required. Coach Appleby, my high school coding teacher, taught me coding for 4 years. This was an important skill because it was the primary method of producing the product. These skills will stay with me for the rest of my life, and I will use them to solve more problems and create solutions that will benefit the masses.